A big shout out to Music Connection, sending you some love. Thank you so much for all the contributions you've given and the exposure to the artists and musicians in Los Angeles and everywhere else in the world. Thank you.
All right, so we are rocking with Maryam Zadeh from TAPPS.
TAPPS.
Yes, and she is here with us at the studio right here in Whittier. And I know some of the artists or the members have shifted and whatnot. I know you're probably the third member.
Yeah.
Is that true? Okay.
Yeah.
So take us back to the beginning and how you personally got started in music and how that led into you working with TAPPS.
Well, I've known Alan Coelho, the founding member of TAPPS, since the 80s. But he had like a studio vocalist at the time to do some of the songs, and then we reconnected about 1999, and then we started writing in the studio. I was going up to Canada working with him. Then we got a call from a promoter in LA wanting to do a TAPPS show, and there had been no TAPPS for I think 35 years. So we reunited and we did a show in LA for the first time in, I think it was 2003 or something like that. And from there we just started spiraling and just doing shows everywhere. And then eventually he just wanted to stay in Canada and work in the studio because he works with a lot of different artists. And I just went on the road and toured as TAPPS, yeah.
Sure.
So
Okay.
that's what I've been doing, yeah.
Definitely. So in terms of you on a personal level, before you got with TAPPS,
Yeah.
well, what's your story and how you started writing and doing music? And
Wow, it's
getting involved?
I started as an actress.
Okay.
I always loved music. I think in the 80s I was part of the East LA disco scene too. So I used to love going to Brandy's and Hong Kong Cafe and DQ's and all these great parties where all these party crews would come together, and the music was just amazing and everything, and I loved all that. So it grabbed me and I wanted to do music, but I didn't really start doing music seriously until with Alan. It was in me, but I didn't do anything. I was actually pursuing acting.
Okay.
Doing some B movies here and there, which I won't say what they are because they're terrible.
Okay. So acting to singing.
To singing. He auditioned me. He wanted to hear my voice, and he goes, "Oh my God, you sound like the original vocalist." He goes, "I want you to be in TAPPS." I said, "Okay." So that's where it went. I always had a love for TAPPS since it came out. And TAPPS is a producer's band. There was never an image. There was never a singer or an artist let's say Trinier or Stacey Q. No one can take their place. TAPPS never really had a vocalist. I'm the only one that's toured for TAPPS. Nobody else has. And it started out with three guys just collaborating in Canada, just jamming and with their keyboards and synthesizers, and there you go. They defined the 80s, that generation with their sound.
Definitely, yeah. Because when I was doing my research on TAPPS, it was kind of ambiguous like that.
Yeah.
You're the first that toured
Yeah.
and whatnot. So they were okay.
Ambiguous,
So
that's the word. That's
good.
good.
Right. So they're producers.
Yeah, they're it's a
basically.
producer's band.
Yeah,
It was
definitely.
never like a Trinier or Stacey Q or Debbie Deb.
Right.
And so then I came on board, and little by little I've been cultivating some kind of image with the name, and people know me as TAPPS and everything. And so yeah, it never had an image, and I always thought, and I would talk to Alan about that too.
Yeah.
You don't have an image.
Okay. So when you do perform, you perform with Alan? Or with
I
some
do
others?
perform. Well, I have performed with Alan a lot in the early 2000s, and then he just stopped. He wanted to stay in Canada, and he does remixing. He produces other artists, so he's really busy up there. He didn't want to tour anymore. And then Tony was the other guy in the band that they used to play together. He has his own businesses in Canada, and he's not in the music business. I think he owns restaurants or something like that.
Okay.
So.
And then how about the other females? A couple of other females that did participate. Are they
Yeah.
just, doing other.
Well, there was one, Barbara Dowse, which I
Right.
love. I love her voice. And it's so funny. I have a story to say. I don't know. A lot of people that are going to be listening to this will know that Brandy's. I think it was a club called Brandy's in City of Commerce when I first heard "Burning with Fire," and I went, "Oh my God, that song!" I was like, "This is just an amazing song," which was Barbara Dowse's vocals on it. She never performed live. They just hired her as a vocalist to do the track. I've redone the track, But the vinyl classic that the DJs play, that's her voice. And I'm not embarrassed to say that. I mean, she has a great voice. But she wanted to get married. She didn't want to be a part of the music business. Her husband wouldn't let her tour anyway. So that's what happened there. So it just went dormant. They didn't do anything after her.
And then with Forbidden Lover, you know, the hit single, which you guys...
the disco anthem of 1983. That's what I say it is.
Definitely. Do you know like how that song came about?
Wow, there's a lot of writers involved, but I'm not one of them. It was in Canada. It was Paul, it was Vince DiGiorgio, it was Alan Coelho. Vince DiGiorgio, by the way, is very big in the music business, as he discovered NSYNC as well. So he was working with them. But they all got together and they wrote the song. And it has so many parts to it, it's an experimental track. When you pull at it, when you pull the track and you take everything and you start, like, the percussions and everything, it's a very, what's the word I want to use? Intricate. It's just, wow. When you take it apart. I tried to take it apart because I redid some of the tracks, and believe me, it's, once the energy's poured into it, you cannot redo it.
Yeah.
You can redo it, and and my job is to preserve the vocal character of the vinyl classic, which I do.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can tell the difference between me and Barbara. But once that energy's poured into it, you can never redo it again. It's like a classic film.
Mm-hmm.
You redo it, it's not the same.
Right.
So I'm not gonna say, wow, take all the credit for it. No, it's them.
For sure.
Yeah.
So is there, like, since that's like the main hit, is there any like plans on turning that into like a spin into like whether it's a country or hip hop? Would you like to see that?
My Forbidden Lover?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're inspiring me just saying that right now, because that is the disco anthem of 1983, and everybody when I perform, that's the song I always wait till the end, because that's what everybody wants to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see doing something like that. Would be great. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. So in terms of like new music with TAPPS, is that on the
Well,
way?
Alan and I worked together in Canada. This was back in 2007, maybe, trying to come up with something. But here's the deal. This is my take on my experience. There were 3 guys involved. It's like the Rolling Stones. You have Keith Richards and Mick Jagger. You take Keith Richards away, Mick Jagger can't do the same thing. It's the chemistry of all of them together. So TAPPS was not just Alan, it was a couple of other guys. But Alan is very talented and he could do his part. But I could hear that the completeness wouldn't be there if the other guys aren't there. Paul or Tony or Vince, those guys have to be involved for it to be that. But we were trying, and it's recorded, but I just haven't released it. But we also did some, he helped me with some like 80s new wave style music. So I have a track that I'm promoting right now that he produced and we wrote together after a TAPPS show, actually.
Okay. Now, is that going under TAPPS or is that under your
Under
name?
my name, yeah.
Maryam Zadeh.
But he did, I just spoke to Alan a couple months ago, and he just sent me a track that's TAPPS, and he wants me to sing on it. So I've been listening to it, and I'm deciding whether I want to do it or not.
Dope.
Record over it, yeah.
Okay, so this will be like a whole LP or just a single?
It would be a single, but
Okay.
it's a single, and you will hear the TAPPS element in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have that right now. I haven't decided whether I'm going to record it or not yet. Vocals.
Gotcha. Okay. Now in terms of touring, any shows coming up?
Yeah, well, I've been doing a lot of shows since then after the pandemic, I kind of took a break, and then I just started up a year ago, and it's just been rolling.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of shows and stuff, and I actually have a page. It's Maryam Zadeh Disco Dolly, but it's dedicated to TAPPS and the disco music. So a lot of people have connected with me now through that, because TAPPS doesn't have a website. They did a long time ago, but they took it down. So I'm basically carrying on the legacy.
Yeah.
And I'm determined to keep it going, and for the new generation.
Yeah.
Speaking
Speaking of new generation, is there like plans of like grooming like a new singer or like an artist, like just building the team under TAPPS?
No.
No.
TAPPS is what it
that's
is,
just
and you just preserve it, and you honor it, and you sing those songs. But me as part of TAPPS, I have taken some of the elements of it and I've put it into my own music that I'm writing and recording and producing myself. So, and what I'm doing now is I'm doing mashups. So I love freestyle. So like I have a track called Spinnin' that's a mashup with Debbie Deb Lookout Weekend. So I took her track, the instrumental, and I wrote a song over it. And I've been performing it and people love it. So I'm kind of wanting to do that now, freestyle mashups.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so we got the music and the touring. Is there anything else that you want to let, past fans, future fans know about?
I'm here. You guys can connect with me on my Instagram page. It's Maryam Zadeh, Disco Dolly / _ Maryam Zadeh. You can message me, talk to me. I like to do that now after the shows. Is just have people come up to me. I like to know who's there. What are your names? Where are you from? A lot of people tell me, "Oh God, we drove 3 hours," and I just go, my heart goes out to them. So. I'm in the process of designing My Forbidden Lover TAPPS t-shirts because I want to give those to people, the fans, that have supported me. There's been fans that just follow me everywhere I'm going, so I love that. Yeah, it's great. I love it. I feel the love.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
And what's one piece of advice that you would give to an up and coming artist looking to break into the business or that's in the business but looking to sustain themselves and just
it's a whole different approach now than it was in the 80s. It's not the same. Listen to your, I don't know, how would I say this? Listen to your true self. Don't listen to the world. Don't listen to what people are telling you. Whatever you feel is right for you, just keep doing it. It's hard. It's a challenge. You got to have faith to keep going, and that's what I'm doing too. So, yeah, because I want to keep moving forward and expanding along with carrying the TAPPS legacy. But I would tell them just listen to your true self.
For sure.
Yeah.
And speaking of that carrying the torch, what keeps you motivated?
The music, just hearing. The people actually. Well, that's what I want. The love from the audience when you go. And you go, oh my God, wow, these people are just happy to see you. And like I was saying in another interview, when you feel the love from the audience and the energy, you work off of that and you can perform even better. So that's what I really love, the people just coming to the shows, yeah.
Definitely.